Pleasant greetings to all my viewers and my subscribers. This is Jah-P Sports Talk. I hope everyone is keeping safe. So we saw where the Jamaica Reggae Girlz played USA last night, and the Reggae Girlz were defeated 4-0. You know, I'm happy that its scoreline wasn't worse, but I'm disappointed in what the scoreline was. You understand me? I think that the girls did well, playing up against mighty USA, but I still think that the girls could have done a little bit better. You know, a few of those goals that were scored, I would say it's poor defensive, play, and coming from the midfield, but I would say poor defensive play, and the girls just not marking, players. So, I think the game could have been a little bit tighter. You understand me? We didn't manage to score any, But as I said earlier on, playing up against opposition like USA, we are always going to know that this competition is going to be hard for us, So we have to play our A plus game to have any chance of scoring against USA or reducing your scoreline to maybe a 1-0 or a 2-0, which I think that it could have done that, it could have finished that way if the girls had played a little bit harder than how I saw that they played. You understand me? But nevertheless, as I said, I cannot go too hard on the Reggae Girls. We played without Khadija Bonisha. Most of the other senior Reggae Girls were in the squad, and some of them were pretty much new to the team also. You know, we saw where they played Leah Brooks, that's a young goalkeeper. For me, I would have definitely played Sydney Scheidner. You understand me? She's a more experienced goalkeeper and playing a high intense game like this, even though it's an international friendly, my viewers. You don't want to make it just be a friendly. You understand me? You want to play any opposition like it's a World Cup final, like it's a World Cup game. You understand me? So that decision by coach Dean Burton, because he is the head coach of this match, Bugsby had some personal issues, So I would have definitely played Sydney Scheidner over Leah Brooks. Not to discredit Leah Brooks for her performance and so on, but in a game, and I'm not trying to say that maybe if Sydney Scheidner had played, the game would have been the same or worse. I'm not saying that it couldn't be that. You understand me? But trust me, I would have definitely go for Scheidner over Leah Brooks in this game, But all credits to Leah Brooks, for help keeping the scoreline to what it was. Wish it was less, but nevertheless, it's USA, and they played well in to score. They were more hunting the goals. And trust me, I love the crowd support that I saw. Trust me, man. I love the crowd support. Not very often you see women's football or women's sports getting so much support. Trust me, it was a large crowd there. Trust me, so I must big up all the American fans that came, and then all the Jamaicans and other supporters that came out to watch this game. Trust me, I really love to see that crowd support. Trust me, it was magnificent. You understand me? So now the Reggae Girls will look to play England on the 29th of June. So England, you just had the Reggae Boys last weekend. This month 10, the Reggae Girls will be coming to England. So please, I'm asking you all, get your tickets from early and please go out and support the Jamaica Reggae Girls. I'm not sure if by then we will have Khadija Bonisha, but we are hoping that we could have her soon rather than later. We know it's off season now for her, so she would want to get as much rest and get to full fitness, but we would still want to see her. You understand me? We would still want to see her. So we anticipate to see if she will be ready for that England game, or is it somewhere further down the line. You understand me? We really anticipate to see Khadija Bonisha. But trust me, as I said, England, the Reggae Girls is coming. So please get your gears, get your jersey, and just go out and support the Reggae Girls. Hopefully that we will get a support similar to what we got for the Reggae Boys. I know it's gonna be hard, but we're hoping that we could get even half of the support that the Reggae Boys had got versus Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago. You know? So my viewers and subscribers, let me hear from you. What do you think about the Reggae Girls performance? How they played and what could have been better? But for me, apart from Leah Brooks, I definitely think that a few of the girls they need to work a little bit harder defensively, you know. And I think that if we are to play harder, you know, we definitely have a chance of competing against bigger nations, scoring against bigger nations, and making the teams have to work for their goal. You understand me? But in the end, Reggae Girls, I still have to give you all credit. It wasn't a 6-0 or 7-0 trashing. So, you know, thumbs up regardless. So, until next time, my viewers, this is Jah-P Sports Talk. Just want to thank you all for subscribing, like, share, and comment. And I wish you guys all the best for the remainder of the week. Please remember to keep safe. Jah-P Sports Talk.